Scene script. Have you ever wondered what would happen if the world lost oxygen for just 5 minutes? The very thought sends a shiver down the spine, doesn't it? Oxygen, that invisible force surrounding us, permeating every corner of our lives, is an essential component of life as we know it. It's in the air we breathe, the water we drink, and the soil beneath our feet. It's the lifeblood of our planet, the engine that drives the intricate machinery of life. Imagine our Earth, our home, devoid of this vital element, if only for a short span of 5 minutes. It's a scenario that feels more akin to a science fiction plot than a reality. Yet the question persists, what would happen? Oxygen, often taken for granted, is the unsung hero of our existence. It's the silent partner in every breath we take, the invisible collaborator in every heartbeat. Without it, life as we know it would come to a sudden, grinding halt. Our planet's oxygen-rich atmosphere is a unique phenomenon in the vast expanse of the universe. It's like a protective blanket, shielding us from harmful cosmic radiation, maintaining the delicate balance of our ecosystem, and allowing life to flourish. But what if this blanket was suddenly pulled away? What if, for a fleeting 5 minutes, oxygen disappeared from our world? The clock starts ticking, the countdown begins, and our planet plunges into an oxygenless abyss. Even a temporary absence of oxygen would have profound implications. The world as we know it would be turned upside down. Every living organism, from the smallest microbe to the largest whale, would feel the impact. The ripple effects would be felt across all spheres, biological, physical, and even societal. Surely the absence of oxygen, even for a short period, would have catastrophic effects. But what exactly would those effects be? As we delve deeper into this intriguing scenario, let's brace ourselves for a journey into the unknown, a journey fraught with danger and uncertainty, but one that promises to shed new light on the indispensable role of oxygen in our lives. In the blink of an eye, life as we know it would begin to unravel. Imagine a world where oxygen, this vital element, vanishes abruptly. The immediate effects would be both drastic and unsettling. One of the first things you'd notice is a sudden drop in air pressure. The atmosphere around us is a blend of gases, with oxygen constituting about 21%. Without it, the air pressure would plummet by roughly a fifth, making our ears pop as if we're on a fast-ascending airplane. But it's not just discomfort. The drop in air pressure would render our human hearing ineffective. Sound as we know it travels by vibrating the particles in a medium, usually air. If oxygen were to disappear, the density of the air would decrease and sounds wouldn't carry as well. The world would become eerily quiet, like we're all wearing heavy-duty earplugs. Now, let's talk about transportation. Every internal combustion engine, the kind that powers your car, the bus you take to work, planes, trains, and numerous ships, relies on oxygen for ignition. Without oxygen, these engines would stall, grinding to a halt. Our world, so dependent on transportation, would come to a standstill. No more cars zooming down highways, no more planes soaring in the skies, and no more ships cruising the oceans. A worldwide paralysis, if you will. And remember, all of this would happen in the first few moments of oxygen's disappearance. It's a startling realization, isn't it? The extent of our dependence on this seemingly invisible and often taken for granted element. But that's just the beginning. The real catastrophe would be much more profound. Because oxygen doesn't just allow us to breathe and power our engines, it's also a fundamental building block of life as we know it. But more on that in our next scene. Our bodies would be the first to bear the brunt of this oxygen loss. As oxygen levels plummet, our bodies would go into overdrive, trying to compensate for the lack of this vital gas. But alas, even the most efficient biological system has its limits. After a few desperate breaths in an oxygenless world, humans would lose consciousness. Without oxygen, the cells in our body would be unable to produce the energy we need to survive. The brain, the control center of our bodies, and the most oxygen-hungry organ of all, would be the first to shut down. Within 3 to 5 minutes, life as we know it would cease. But the biological consequences don't stop at the individual level. The entire planet's ecosystem would be thrown into disarray. Plants, the primary producers in our food chain, would die off without oxygen for photosynthesis. This would lead to a domino effect, disrupting the survival of all organisms higher up in the food chain. And let's not forget about our protective ozone layer. Without oxygen, this crucial shield would vanish, leaving our planet vulnerable to the sun's harmful ultraviolet radiation. This would lead to an increase in skin cancers and other radiation-related diseases, further devastating the already crippled biological world. The biological world would be in chaos, but the physical world wouldn't be far behind. The oxygen-less scenario paints a grim picture, doesn't it? But hold on, we are not done yet. The story of our world without oxygen continues. Without oxygen, even the Earth itself would begin to crumble. This phrase isn't just a dramatic opener, it's a scientific reality. Oxygen is more than just the breath of life. It's a crucial component in the physical makeup of our world. Imagine the world's metals left untreated without the protective layer that oxygen provides. They'd instantly weld together, creating a bizarre, solid metallic landscape. Think of it as a global-scale art installation, only much less fun and a lot more dangerous. Now let's consider the Earth's crust. Oxygen acts as a binding agent in the Earth's crust, holding everything together. Take away oxygen, and you're essentially pulling the rug from under our feet. The crust would crumble, leading to enormous cracks and crevices, and the ground beneath us would become unstable. In a world without oxygen, it's clear that life as we know it would come to a catastrophic end. The physical effects alone are enough to paint a chilling picture of a world gasping for breath, literally and figuratively. 5 minutes without oxygen, and the world would be unrecognizable. We've journeyed through the immediate impacts, the biological consequences, and the physical effects. It's a chilling spectacle, from the cessation of combustion and the rapid cooling of the Earth to the catastrophic biological fallout. The world, as we know it, would change in unimaginable ways. But thankfully, this is just a hypothetical scenario. So take a deep breath and appreciate the oxygen that surrounds us, fuels us, and keeps our world in balance.